Hey beautiful people, so today we are still on our series styles that you can invest on in your ready to wear business, and this is one of it, boho jumpsuit or bubu jumpsuit. Okay, so in as much as you look at this style to be very simple, it's beautiful. Okay, so you can also see that if you want to cut it the way you are seeing it, honestly guys, I don't know about it, but it's not going to be fine. Yeah, the reason why it won't be fine is it will be looking like you're wearing tarpaulin. So you need to put a little bit of that here and there to make it look beautiful. Okay, so the original tribe that owns this Bubu gown, it's just, they just cut it straight down, and then they just cut the leg area and they join it. So when you wear it, you find out that around the crotch area, it will be puffing up, it will gather. But if you do the little cutting here and there and trimming here and then, your own will come out very professional, like what you are seeing in the screen. Okay, it's not everybody that just wants to wear anything that does not really have shape. Okay, so we'll go right into this tutorial. First thing we will do is put in our borderline. If you have been one of my students, you will understand that I don't do anything without this borderline. It's very key, because this borderline of 1 inch is what really takes care of the shoulder allowance. Okay, so now the next thing for you to do is, because it's a jumpsuit, the top and the trouser is cut together, right? This cloth, for it to have shape, we are going to be putting dart, but the dart we are going to be putting is the bust dart. We do not need to put this waist dart here, because the top is not supposed, the jumpsuit is not supposed to have shape at the waist area. Okay, it's bubu, but we need it to highlight the bust area, and that's why we'll be putting the bust dart. Now, because it's a cut together jumpsuit, the crotch area of the trouser will be facing this way. Now, the original owners of this material that we are seeing do not really take cognizance of the crotch area, so they cut it anyhow. But we are not going to be doing that, because we want our own to look very professional, like what we are seeing on the screen right now. So for that reason, that 2 inches curve of the crotch, will be putting it, and it should be facing this way. Now, this bubu jumpsuit, there are some of it, you know, it comes in different styles, so it depends on what you have in mind. Okay, what you have in mind when you want to make it. Some of this boho or bubu jumpsuit, the crotch area gets as low as the knee level. Some, the crotch area gets as low as below the knee level. So it depends on what you have in mind when you are cutting this particular style. But for me here, I'm cutting this particular style on that screen, because I want to do something that is sellable. Okay, something that when I'm finished making it, I hang it in my shop, people will rush it. Okay, so you don't want to make a style that will remain with you. A lot of people will be seeing it, when you make that, will be seeing it, it's not fine. Okay, here people take cognizance of what they are wearing. Okay, now most of the bobo gown that I see does not have a center line. Okay, but as it's going to be having a center line, so we'll be able to apply our darts. It's going to be having a center line in front of the top. Okay, so for that reason, our crotch line should be able to face here. If you observe the normal trouser tutorial I used to make, the crotch line faces here, but this is a cut together top and trouser, so we should be able to factor that in. So the crotch line now will be facing this area. Now we will create a space for that crotch line curve, and the space I want to create is just 2 inches. I want to create 2 inches. Okay, this is for our crotch. Okay, so we start our markings from this area. We are going to be imputing our vertical lines, and then the vertical lines are my armhole. But this is my bust line, this is my under bust line, this is my waistline, this is my hip line. Okay, this is my hip line, and then I don't need my thigh line, and I don't need any other line. We go over to the hemline. So this is our hemline. Okay, this is our hemline. Okay, now we go ahead and impute our vertical measurements, right? Okay, so in the vertical measurement, my neckline I'll be using, okay, irrespective of what we have in the picture, the neckline I'll be using is 3 by 3 inches, which is 3 here, okay, then 3 here, okay, then you use your ruler to connect nicely, okay, but because this is a mini illustration, I want to use my free hand. Okay, then we impute our shoulder line. Okay, we impute our shoulder line. Okay, we impute our shoulder line. Then we connect it like so. Okay, okay, we connect it like so. Okay, so we slant out our shoulder. Now let me tell you the essence of slanting out your shoulder. Okay, in slanting out your shoulder is very, very important. Somebody was asking me, why do we need to slant out shoulder? Now if you leave your shoulder to run straight like this, our human shoulder is not straight. So if you leave your own line to run straight like this, when you finish cutting out this place will be gapping. There will be a hole. You will have to you can put your hand inside, okay? But when you slant it out, you are making this line to cup the shoulder. It will lap on the shoulder. Okay, so it will lap on your shoulder. Okay, so now we are going to be coming out by 1/2 inch, which is our standard for curving, which is the standard for covering the armhole for the front line. Now for the back pattern, the armhole remains the same. Now the back pattern, this is the back pattern. For the back pattern, the armhole remains the same. Now for the back neckline, you are just going to be using 1 inches or 1.5 inches, or anyhow you like it. Okay, so we are done with that to start imputing our horizontal measurement. And when we impute our horizontal measurement, which is bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches, you impute it. Under bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches, you impute it. Waistline divided by 4 plus 2 inches, you impute it. Now the hip area divided by 4 plus 2 inches, you impute it. Okay, you impute it. Now this is a jumpsuit. Okay, let's just say we connect like so. We connect like so. Since it's a Bubu jumpsuit, we actually do not need to shape the hemline. Just bring it down that way. You can add 1 inch to it, but if not, just bring it down that way. Now we come to adding the darts around the hem, the bust line. Okay, so you will need to be imputing your bust span, which is here. Now I told you people, whatever you are doing with your dart shouldn't get to the bust span point. So you go from here, make it 1 inch around this area, then you connect like so. Okay, there's something I forgot to mention. Because we'll be putting 1 inch dart allowance here, okay, you take 1/2 inch by the 2 sides of the line that you have made. I already made a tutorial on how to do that. Okay, so please do well to always follow my tutorial and you will never make mistake. Okay, so because I'm taking 1 inch from this, for this dart, because I'm taking 1 inch here, it's going to affect the line of our underbust. So before you start fixing these lines, please just know that this is 1 inch, and there's no way of removing it around the dart area because there's no center half pattern, there's no center line here. Okay, for you to start saying, okay, whatever you remove here, you are going to add here. That means whatever you are going to be removing here, we keep going down till you get to this place. I don't know if you understand. Okay, so because we are removing 1 inch here, so instead of my underbust line to be 13, I will make it 14. Instead of my waistline to be 16, I'll make it 17. Instead of my hip line to be 25, I'll make it 26, and then bring up this side too. Okay, that was the only mistake I made. You understand? If not, you will make your waistline to come up to 15 inches instead of 16 inches after you have removed these darts. Let me go through it again. Now, I made a mistake initially when I was ruling out these lines. I forgot about this that I'm going to be imputing here. Now there is no center line to impute this dart, so for that reason whatever we are taking out here will keep coming down to the hemline. Okay, now after imputing your bust line, you hold on, remove your dart. Okay, when you remove your dart, instead of your under bust line being 13, now it's going to be 14 because this place is going to be removed. Instead of your waistline now, for you to mark it at 16, mark it at 17 because it's going to come up. Instead of your hip line to be 25, mark it at 26 because it's coming up, and the same thing with your hemline. Okay, now we go ahead to create the crotch line. This is actually a very simple bubu gown to make. Now the crotch line for every jumpsuit is 15 inches. For my size is 15 inches. I've taught you how to measure for your crotch line when you're making jumpsuit. Crotch line for jumpsuit is different from crotch line for trouser because it does not really have, trouser has, if your trouser is, the crotch line is not even enough for trouser, it can still fit because when you sit down it will pull down. Okay, but for jumpsuit, if your jumpsuit the crotch line is not enough, I don't know how you're going to do it. There's actually an amendment for it, but you can't sit properly with it. It will be tying even your neck. Okay, if your crotch line is not enough. So but for this kind of style that is even very free, so you have to add something like extra 2 inches. Normally my jumpsuit crotch line is 15 inches. I'm going to be adding 2 inches, making 17 inches, and you observe that it's going to come down this way. So this is now my crotch line. Okay, this is now my crotch line, and we extend it. Okay, we extend it out this way. That was why we created this space here. Okay, now this is our hip line. We are going to be curving it out nicely this way, just the way we created curve for our trouser. Okay, that's the way we are going to be creating this one, and then we now create this place nicely, okay, to go and meet our hem line. And guys, your cloth is ready. Okay, your cloth is ready. Now I will be showing you how to use this front one now to cut out the back, because if you do not cut it out well, when you want to sit down it might be free. In as much as you want it to be bogus, in as much as you want it to be big, okay, you still want it to have shape. So I will be using this front pattern now to cut out the back, and I'll be showing you how to cut it out. Let's cut it out. Okay, every other thing has been marked for the back. The front neckline has been marked. The armhole is okay. Everything is okay, except for the fact that because this 1 inch that we removed here, we kept removing it to this place, and for the back pattern we do not need bust dart. We won't be putting any dart for the back pattern. That means if you cut it out to be exactly the same length with this place, the front part will now be shorter than the back part, and we don't want that. So okay, so coming to the back pattern. Okay, coming to the back pattern, you will have to extend this place like so. Okay, you extend it, because if you do not work on this crotch area, if you do not work on this crotch area, your crotch area will be gathering. So you come down by ½ inch this way, and then you connect it like so. You come down by ½ inch and you come up by ½ inch here, and then you connect, and then you smoothen it out like this. The way you have done it, your crotch area will relax. Okay, remember that this area we came up by 1 inch. Okay, so we are going to rule it out, mark it out. We'll mark it out. Okay, we'll mark it out. Mark it out. So guys, this is the back pattern. Okay guys, so this is the back pattern. Okay, and this is the front pattern. Okay, so you can see, because we reduced it by 1 inch here, the back pattern, because of this that we are removing here, we have to reduce this one. That's why they are of the same length. But if you go ahead to cut it out without removing this 1 inch that you are putting here, because the back pattern does not need that, if you do not remove that 1 inch, the front pattern will be longer and you'll be wondering why. Okay, so this is the front and this is the back pattern. Okay, you can see everything is set. Okay, so now you have to choose whether you don't want it to have sleeve. If you don't want it to have sleeve, then you can shape out here and shape out here, shape out these two areas, shape it out so that it will come together. Okay, but if you want it to have sleeve, you can go ahead and add your sleeve, then cut out our front neckline, and your jumpsuit is ready. So with this now, you can play with whatever you want to play with. You can add pleating to the front area. So when you add pleating to the front area, you join, you find out that here we say be highlighted a little bit. Okay, so that guys, that's all for this jumpsuit, and let's go right into the next tutorial.